Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Thursday. It's the first Thursday of the month, so it means we're going to talk money, 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 money. And I'm going to start with my little whining thing because today, traffic. I love growth because I make a living if things grow, if things are successful. People spend money, you make a living, everybody's happy. Your hamburger joint sells a lot of food. Your pizza place sells a lot of food. Your store sells a lot of stuff. But people, quit riding bumpers. Quit riding bumpers. This little tin can, and I'll just call it tin can, and its last 4 digits on its tag number were 2101, and I will never forget this. It's instilled. I don't like tattoos, but I'll probably get a tattoo that says 2101. But all morning long, I'm leaving Pickens County, and I'm being a good girl. And I'm not speeding, and I'm just doing my thing, and I'm just having a great morning, listening to the pulse, and the pulse keeps me pumped up and happy. I'm just so excited. And then I changed the slow lane to get over because there were lots of tractors and trailers in the slow lane. I think, okay, I'll go around these dudes and get them out of my life. And as I do, I go up there, and there's a red Jeep. Didn't know he had a Florida tag. That explains it all. Had a Florida tag, the red Jeep. And then there's this another car, and they're going too slow to be in the fast lane. Let's just say that. They were going like 7 miles under the speed limit. Yeah. You don't get in the fast lane and go 7 miles under the speed limit. Well, behind me is this little tin can, and it's a ugly little gold tin can, and the little tin can kept riding my bumper. Mm-hmm. Okay, Bubba, I got 2 slow cars in front of me. I got tractors and trailers on the right side of me. Paul, where do I go?
There's nowhere you
can go. Do I go in the median? Do I run down through the yard? What in the heck do you expect me to do? Well, this little tin can stayed on me until we got down past Talking Rock. It was absolutely crazy. And I'm watching him, and I'm thinking, you know, if I didn't love my big black truck, I'd slam on my brakes and you'd have a headache because you'd hit me from the rear and it would total that tin can you're driving. But instead, I'm going to be sweet. And so I was sweet and I kept my distance. But the problem was the 2 cars in front of me, I could go nowhere, I could do nothing because tractors and trailers would get on this side. And a big piece of equipment with a wide load. I mean, it was all the perfect storm. Yeah. And this little dude stays right on my bumper. Yeah. And I'm looking and thinking, okay, we got tractors and trailers over here. We got a big piece of equipment. We got 2 slow Joes over here. If I were to slam on my brakes and create the perfect wreck, right, that little tin can would probably not come out as well as I would have. No. But we get up here, and Dwight Sanford, I love that you've taught me this technique. Just keep on and stay the faith, because you get to the red light, you're going to be staring straight at them because they didn't get there no faster than you did. Yeah. You know, they're on my bumper the whole time. So finally, we get down to where it cuts off at 382 on 515. It's 382, yeah, where it cuts off. And I pull over in the slow lane, and I let that little tin can go by me. And then I look at his tag number and I think, interesting. And so I thought, well, those are numbers that are going to be instilled in me, because you started my day kind of cruddy because they could have caused the accident. Right. Because literally, I couldn't go any faster. There were 2 slow Joes in front of me. There were tractors and trailers over here. And if I had been one of those drivers that gets offended by somebody doing something stupid, I'd have turned around and signaled them. Right. But I didn't, because I don't do that. Although there was a time I thought about it. And then when we get to the red light, so Dwight, you're right. You are right. He always says, there's no point in speeding. There's no point in doing crazy stuff, because you're both going to get there at the same time, and you're both going to be sitting there at the red light. And I glanced over and looked at him and thought, well, you're an idiot. That's all I thought. So I probably shouldn't have had those bad thoughts early this morning. But I had a cup of coffee, and my adrenaline was rushing. So all the way up here, I'm thinking how thankful I am that as bad as traffic is, I've driven these roads, not to jinx myself, safely, never had a ticket, coming here, had several tickets not coming here. They were all in ball ground though. That's so funny. And then I've made it safely, so God's hedge of protection has been over me.
Yes, that's a blessing.
Because the traffic has changed. In the years we've been coming up here, has the traffic changed a little bit?
It's ridiculous how much it's changed. Now, I will say this, if I remember correctly, if you brake check them, then you get a ticket.
Do I really?
The law has changed now that if you brake, from what I understand, if you brake check somebody like that and cause an accident, you're at fault.
Wow.
So
wow.
the Lord was watching after you from that
Yes, he
standpoint,
was.
too.
And the Lord was watching after that person in that little tin can, because honestly, I just wanted to throw up my hands and say, look, Bubba, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
There's cars, trucks over here, and there's cars in front of me. What do you want me to do?
Well, I'll tell you. So
Common sense.
until we sold our house
Common
and moved,
sense.
I had to drive up 515 every afternoon. You know, and the fast lane's for the fast lane, right? Speed limit or a little
Supposed
bit.
to be,
Speed
yeah.
limit or maybe 5 miles an hour
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
And I, you know, I'd leave the office and be in a hurry to get to a kid event or get home or something like that. And then you get behind somebody that's going 10 miles an hour under the speed limit
In the fast lane.
And all I can think is that has to be the most selfish person on the face of the earth, because they're no regard for somebody else may need to get somewhere, and then they'll never get over.
No.
But that's just a degradation of our
Do you
society
look at their
today.
tags?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And did you notice many of them are from Fulton County or Gwinnett County?
Yeah. Yeah.
There is something about, not to say entitled, but to say,
Right.
thinking you're not thinking of other people, because the line of traffic behind you is getting
Right.
ridiculous, because in that time in the afternoon both lanes are full.
Yeah.
What you gonna
They are.
do? What you
But,
gonna do?
I mean, that's just, it's kind of the degradation of society. I mean, I remember time ago, of course, when our community was smaller, everybody knew everybody. Everybody knew what car.
Yeah, and your mama
they
would
drove.
tell, your mama would know before you got home that you were speeding, because somebody'd call and say, oh, I saw Sherry sitting on the side of the road, she got a ticket today.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my God.
There's a common courtesy, and it's just common courtesy. If somebody's in a hurry,
Yeah, let
to
'em
get
over.
over and let
Yeah.
them, or if you're going to go slow and it's going
Yeah.
to be a Sunday stroll, get in the slow lane. That's what it's for.
Or if you're trying to light a cigarette, turn your radio on, you're doing four things while you're in the fast lane slow, yeah. That's a pure sign you probably ought to get over.
Now, I'll tell you what's interesting. So the one thing about now, I go out Jones Mountain Road now, Burnt Mountain Road and Jones Mountain Road. It's nice
That's
because
a
it's
beautiful drive, but a treacherous drive.
treacherous drive,
Yes.
but very little traffic.
Yeah, yeah.
But this morning, normally I'm in the office around 6 a.m., but I had a couple of things at the house. Get in around 7.
He's in the office at 6 a.m.
I am. I'm just an early riser, and I like what I do. So.
And does that bother Holly? Because in the summer she's off.
Yeah, I mean, she's not excited
Would
about
she
it.
rather you just shut up and sleep?
Well, I don't talk when I get up in the morning.
Okay.
So her schedule's a little bit later than mine. So, but like weekends, normally what I do, because I still wake up at 5:30 every morning. I go do chores and work, and then I'll come back in about 7:30 when she's up, and we'll have a cup of coffee together. But during the
Wow.
weekday, I'm gone.
Wow.
And but this morning, I didn't leave till 7, and I got behind somebody that drove 12 miles an hour under the speed limit all the way into town, and there's nowhere to pass. And I was like, I'm glad I'm not in a hurry. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
And it was an elderly gentleman, so I didn't ride his bumper. I
Yep,
stayed back
yep.
a little bit.
Well, this morning it was so funny because I was getting annoyed, and then the Pulse came on with this song that I really, really loved, and it was Somebody Prayed. And I'm like, well, it's a good thing they played that song, because I was about to turn around and give them a shout out. And I was like, this is so stupid that somebody could ruin your day that way by doing something that dumb, because it made me nervous that they were riding my bumper.
Yeah, yeah.
It made me very nervous, because I thought the two cars that were in front of me kept hitting their brakes. And that made me nervous, because
Yeah.
I couldn't see around them, and I thought, is there something going on up there that's
Right.
keeping them so slow? So I was really being protective for me, and then I kept looking in my rearview mirror, and there's that nut on my bumper, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not smart. Isn't it supposed to be a car length per every 10 miles an hour?
Yeah, so I can't
That would
remember.
be, they should have been back half a mile, and they weren't.
Yeah, at least 3 seconds behind, if I remember correctly. But you know, and I mean, that's the problem. There's a lot of pressure in today's society. Inflation's going up a lot. Wages haven't really kept up. Things are slowing down. You got all the Middle East tension. I think people are just on edge.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it really isn't necessarily about you the large majority of the time. I mean, who knows, that person could have been late for their first job,
I
right?
don't know.
And they're trying to get there and they don't think
Boy,
about it.
if it wasn't for the Pulse, I wouldn't have had such a good morning. So thank you to Dan and Griffin. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm the one guy that can be driving down the road praying, thank you for the day, Lord, and somebody whips out and cuts me off, and I wave with much less fingers than I should.
Yeah.
And then I'm spend the next 10 minutes like, Lord,
Sorry.
Sorry. That was not very representative of me.
No. Well, something happened to me yesterday that annoyed me, and we go Facebook Live when we do this show. And my guest yesterday in 1937, when he was only a child, in 1937, his grandfather wrote a song that is a very, very well-known gospel song. But his grandfather said, I never want royalties from this. I want it to be shared in the message of the Lord, period. End of story. He wants to share it in the message of the Lord, and he never wanted money. He never took money. He said, I welcome everybody to share the word. Well, we got shut down on Facebook because Josh's grandpa's song was sung by the Gaithers, by Vestal and Howard doing a Gaither event. And Josh said, hey, let's play that one. I said, okay. So we play it yesterday. It immediately shuts us down on Facebook. And I'm going, okay, Josh's grandpa wrote the song, but the Gaithers have the copyright to it. And that's, and I've looked at a lot of, I love promoting gospel music. I love welcoming you to gospel concerts. I love the way worship music makes you feel. I love songs like Softly and Tenderly, Oh Rugged Cross. I love those songs that you reach back and you remember. You remember. But when I saw that strike that we got and it shut us down after 55 views, it's like normally there's 500 views immediately, and they shut us down. And I said, you know, we chose that version of it to show how many people around the world have heard, because they had 1 million hits on that song.
Right.
They took us down, even though it was Josh's grandpa's song and he wanted to play it. You don't have the right to do that because somebody else claimed a copyright on it.
Right.
And it's because the gentleman's been dead since the 60s, and so his legacy is that song. I mean, that song has just blessed so many people. And so if you were trying to watch us on Facebook yesterday and you're going, what's wrong? Why is it not working? And you're messing with your phone, it was that we were shut down because of a song that my guest, Josh Griggs' grandfather, wrote. Grandfather said everybody can share it, but I don't think he ever thought he'd live in a world where people are monopolizing. I mean, for instance, Dwight Sanford has written tons of original music that we use here. And he has about 4 songs that we get a copyright strike because somebody in Brazil used the same melody in one of the songs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are we that crazy about money?
Yeah, we are.
Isn't that weird?
I hate to say it, so let me ask this question. So the grandfather wrote it, the Gaithers claimed it. Did he sell it to them?
No.
Did he sell the rights, so they just claimed it?
And the family actually got involved in a lawsuit to try to stop people from doing that. Because if you look at, I love gospel music. I love promoting gospel music. I know every group that travels has to make their fuel money. They have to pay for their tires. They have to pay for the venues. I understand everybody's got to make money. Yeah. But if you know, pay attention to what you're doing. Don't take down something that belongs to the guest who wanted to share it with the world because you made a lot of money on that song.
Yeah, but
it was weird.
The computer algorithms and the programs start.
It's a computer sitting somewhere and he don't talk like me.
Yeah, and and there's the spirit of the law and then there's the letter of the law, right? So they operate on the letter of the law because, I mean, it's just that God and our money in our society is God. That's the thing that people care the most about.
Yep.
And look, you have to have it, but that's what Wall Street, unfortunately. I mean, I deal with investments and have to deal with Wall Street side, but that's just the game that they play, right? And it should be that, all right, you didn't write this song, you didn't pay for it, and if you reach out, they relinquish those rights, but that's not the case. The courts are not there to serve the average individual.
Right.
They're there to serve the people that have the money, to pay the most, to use the legal system as a weapon, as a weapon really to tie it up.
It is. Yeah.
And our whole society now seems to be serving the top at the expense of the rest. And that, look, I'm sorry. I mean, it is what it is. That pendulum should swing both ways, but you got to have You got to have politicians, leaders, and judges
Yeah.
have to be serving the people, not an agenda.
And they're not. And in 1937, when the grandfather wrote it, if you told him that day, grandfather, 100 years later, millions of people are going to hear your song and they're going to be touched by the words in this song.
Right.
And then at the same time, you said, grandfather, we can't play it today for all these people because somebody caught the copyright and has the rights to this. And he would have said, but I didn't do that. I didn't want anybody to control it except the word of the songs of the word of the Lord. And that didn't happen. And so it was really weird for me because I kept saying, why is that number not moving? And then I looked and I'm like, oh my gosh, they shut us down.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess, and I guess it's to protect people from bad people, but we're not bad people. And Josh, you know, I wish that the song could have gone out to y'all. And sorry, but we'll do it in a different version another day because he's going to be back next week. So we will do it again and we'll do it differently. We will not involve that group of people. So we'll do it. We'll do it with somebody, just an average Joe that sings the song. How about that?
Yeah, that works.
And maybe if average Joe does it, then there'll be no tragedy and trauma. So
I don't know. It's kind of crazy how all that's going through.
It blew my mind. Let me ask you this. I know you drink coffee.
Yes.
Okay. Do you go to those expensive places and you pay $6 a cup? Is a cup of coffee about $6 now?
I don't know. I don't go.
Okay.
The only time, even when I'm on vacation, like I drink what's called an Americano. So it's espresso and water. And I don't, you know, I've gotten my gut biome a lot better.
Espresso's like dark.
Yeah, so espresso's like the little shots that they do for you.
Right.
Now, I think probably 2 years ago I bought one on a trip because they didn't have a coffee machine and it was like $4 or $5.
Yeah.
And I'm seasoned. I'm like, I can't believe I spent this much on it.
Yeah.
But I just bought one of those cheap espresso machines and I make it at home. But if I'm traveling, I'll just have regular hotel coffee or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's cheap. Doesn't taste as good, but.
Well, everybody, I'm getting to a point because today gas was $3.59, I think, in Jasper. And everybody's whining and complaining. Well, I whined and complained when the other president was in there because I paid over $4 a gallon. I think it was $4.30, $4.09. And then I was buying diesel and I was paying over $6 a gallon for diesel. So I whined. I did the whining like y'all are doing now. But my whining stops because I drive from Ball Ground to Ellijay, and then I drive everywhere showing real estate. I drive a lot. I mean, I drive a lot. And I'm not even whining and moaning about the gas prices because let's get the war over with. Let's do what should have been done 47 years ago. Let's move on. Let's protect our allies surrounding that area, and let's just do good for everybody. Now, my way of doing good is instead of whining about, and I think I did the average last night, it's costing everybody anywhere from $6 to $8 a week extra because of gas prices. The average driver. I'm not an average driver. But if you get 2 cups of coffee that week, you've gone over what you would have spent and that you're whining about on your gas. If you do something frivolous like get your nails done and it's $65 or whatever it cost, then okay, that's 3 months worth of what your gas would have cost. So I just hope that people won't get so crazy about the gas prices that they forget the big picture, because the big picture is you have a choice. You can go home and make yourself lunch. I have stuff at the office and I make myself lunch and I save about $18 a day. I make myself a salad or I make myself a sandwich or I make myself something to eat at lunch. And I save about $18 a day. But then I do love to go out maybe once a month or twice a month. And it's usually around $30 for one person to eat. That's your choice. In America, we still have free choices. And today, we need to start right now, today, honoring the red, white, and blue. We are a free country. We have been free. Do you believe we're 250 years old?
I know, we're coming up on it.
That's older than me. That's older than me. And I think about what we have gone through to get where we are. Can you imagine the lives that were lost? The military who comes home, no arms, no legs, often with brain damage, but they went away because we are the land of the free because of the brave. And that brave person today will get us through tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And so when we get all quirky and crazy about the gas prices, let's just look at the whole picture of America. Aren't we an amazing, amazing place?
We have been, but if we don't go back to morality, honesty, and serving the average individual, the great experiment that is America
Will fail.
will fail.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because you have to, you have to stay focused on the foundation of why our founding fathers left, created this new experience, and protected freedom. And when you're distorted like we are in the economy, where most of our leaders are serving major corporations, both sides. And you gut the middle class for corporate profits on a global scale.
And the middle class could buy a home on one income.
Right.
The middle class could buy a home on one income.
Right.
Doesn't happen anymore.
No, it can't. And a lot of that has to get, a lot of people don't realize so back in 1971, 1972, Nixon left the gold standard. In other words, our currency was detached from a gold backing, which allowed the government to print money like they are now. And that seems nice at first because you have asset price inflation. Had great inflation in the 1970s for several reasons. But now where we are, we're running ridiculous fiscal deficits. We're not balancing our budget. The Federal Reserve's expanding the money supply, and they just print money for everything, right? And that's why we have the inflation that we have today. I mean, one of the reasons why we have the inflation is because we're still running fiscal deficits. In other words, the government's spending more money than they have coming in, and that puts more money into the economy. So here's the best way I can explain it. I don't know if you guys can span out where we can see this phone, right? If y'all can do that,
Yeah,
because they've
there's
got
the
me on
phone.
here.
Hey,
I don't think, hey guys, if you can
you see
expand
the
out
phone?
to both of us.
Yeah.
So let's take this
There you
phone
go.
right here, right?
Okay.
So if you and I have $100 and we both want that phone, how much can it sell for?
As much as I'm willing to pay.
Exactly. So let's just
Because
make
I'm going to
this-
get it in the long run.
let's
as
make
much
this
as
simple.
I'm willing to pay.
If we both have $100, let's assume that we have expenses, we're making $100 a week, right? I've got expenses coming up this week. You don't know that. You have none. You're good till the next check comes in. So theoretically, if we
I
both
could pay
have $100,
Yeah.
you can pay $100, whatever you're willing to pay. Now, let's say one of the guys comes over here and they give us both $1,000.
Oh, no. That sounds
Okay.
good. Hey,
More-
guys.
more money chasing fewer goods means the price of this goes up,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's the reason why we have crazy inflation. And going to the war in the Middle East, let's just forget, let's just not go into any of the questions around it. Here's the problem that we have right now. This is not solved, okay? Now, under the Biden administration, for political purposes, they drew down our strategic petroleum reserve. Okay, so what our strategic petroleum reserve is our emergency fund as a country, that if we have some type of impact, whether it's an earthquake, a major war that breaks out, or anything like that, that is our emergency supply to make sure that we have oil so that we can keep our society running, okay? So a lot of people don't realize that because of corporate profits, and the need for corporate profits and a lot of times of peace and no major issues, what happens? Human nature, we become complacent, we let our savings rate go down, and that puts us at a risk. So what happened under the Biden administration, they drew down the strategic petroleum reserve, and we're already down to a pretty low level. Now that the blunder, I believe, has been made in the Middle East, the expectation this thing would be over quickly, Iran obviously has more capability than what they anticipated. I think that was a prideful, arrogant mistake. We still have the strait that's shut down at this point. Now, who knows? We may get a deal today. We've been told every day since this war started that it's going to be over, but they came out yesterday and stated that it should be open by Labor Day. Okay? What's been taking place is we're still drawing down that strategic petroleum reserve. We're drawing down our distillates. And the reason that they're doing that is to keep oil prices down, right? Because inflation's already running pretty
Because
high.
today it was down in Jasper.
Right. So there's this artificial hand, and we're using these for now. From my perspective, I believe oil prices should go up so that we can lower that demand. Guy by Chris Martinson, who would do the podcast, has done phenomenal work on the math. But we're at risk because Iran's in a situation to where if they can keep the strait closed, we're potentially, I mean, mathematically, going to be running into some major issues when we get into the fall, potentially as late as July, August, where we could have shortages. Now, is that a guarantee? No, it's not. But it's not a good situation that we're in right now. It's not.
And it needs to go away. It needs to end. We need to solve it.
It needs to be over.
Yeah.
You know, at least at this point, you know, it appears they don't have a nuclear weapon, and we got to get this solved because this is a major issue.
Yeah.
Like 5 million barrels a day are taken off of the market in a just-in-time inventory. Now, what just-in-time inventory means for you guys that are out there is there's two ways that you can operate a business. You can have an excessive inventory where you have 6 months worth of your business sales that you have within the company, right? Now the problem with that is if you got
that could be a warehouse full of
could be a warehouse full of product, right? So let's say I know that I sell, you know, a phone a month, okay? I have one of two ways that I can do that. I can order that phone to come in just in time to place that sale. So just in time inventory. It's very fine-tuned, very profitable, maximum profitability for the company because you don't have money tied up sitting there in that inventory, right? So that's the way we've been running. Now, once we got into COVID, you remember during the COVID shutdowns, all of a sudden
couldn't get toilet paper. Yeah,
you couldn't get toilet paper.
Yeah.
You couldn't get all kinds of things, and the reason is we were running just-in-time inventory.
I
on a
keep
global
one here
scale.
just in case.
We were running just-in-time inventory on a global scale. So the manufacturer was producing the toilet paper to get on the trucks, to get to the store, to get to the normal demand that's in that store just in time so it's sold. So you don't have all this money that's tied up in that interim period. So we've been running just-in-time inventory basically on oil, right, and all of our distillates throughout time. And when you lose that, it's not easy to replace. So even if this is solved today, we're probably, unless we have a major recession, you're probably going to see oil prices higher for quite some time because we've underinvested in that category for so long. Now that'll fix itself. What happens is you get underinvested, something happens that causes what they call a commodity super cycle. Those prices go up, and what's the solution for high prices? High prices, right? So gets up, you drill, you bring that supply on, and then that price settles back down at a new equilibrium.
Let me ask you about this. When Biden was in there and he shut down the Alaska pipeline, which I've been on the Alaska pipeline.
Right.
I've gone all the way through Alaska and photographed it, videoed it. I was so impressed with the Alaska pipeline and how far it was going and what it was doing. Everybody in Alaska was benefiting from the Alaska pipeline. Why did he shut that down?
Well, I don't know exactly why, but what I can tell you is there's the belief on the left that we really have to protect the environment, which is true, okay? I mean, we do need to protect the environment. But if you don't really, you have to have a balance.
Have you ever been to Alaska?
No, I have not. That's one of the places
There's
that I've
plenty
wanted to
of
go.
environment up there. There's plenty of stuff protected. Drill, baby, drill. I'm
Right.
sorry. I am sorry, but it is, Alaska is the frontier of where people were doing well because of the oil industry.
Right.
Well,
Well,
he just shut it down.
Well, and you've got this side that says this side is making all this money off of destroying the environment, and you know there is an extreme over here. Let's just max profitability, and there's over here that we don't need to touch any of that. So you have to have a fine balance, right? There's got to be a compromise in there. So that's just kind of that side is we don't like oil and gas. We want to get rid of that. We want to go electrical, solar power, whatever it is.
Oh my God, how did that
Renewable.
work for you?
Well, I mean, you know, and my argument is, you know, you look at hundreds of acres that are in solar power. I mean, that's not natural. That's impactful. You look at these windmills; they're horrible on wildlife. But you know,
The things that they invested the most money in were horrible.
Right.
Awful.
But you got the individuals on the technology side that make a lot of money off of that. So they're in the politicians' ears and telling them one thing, and they listen to that. And over here, where we've got to come together as a country. So we need those pipelines, but we also need to protect the environment, right? And you can do both.
Alaska was doing a great job with it.
Yeah, you
Alaska,
can do both.
and honestly, it was so cool to go. One of the places where we went, and I can't believe I did this. I jump out and I'm chasing a moose, which is very dangerous. Don't do this. I'm telling you, don't be sheery stupid. I'm chasing this moose. I get this perfect photo of it, and I said, "Why are they all up here by the pipeline?" The pipeline kept warmth there, and they would bed under the pipeline because it was so warm there.
Yeah.
And it was so cool, and I was like, "This is amazing that the environment." Everything was so beautiful and green, and there were the animals bedding down all up around the pipeline.
Right.
And I said, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen."
Yeah, yeah.
So you need to go to Alaska. What's wrong with you? You need to go to Alaska.
Well, it's just
Go
kind
hunting,
it's
go
kind of.
fishing, go halibut fishing, and bring me some
I
halibut.
love to eat halibut.
Go bring me some halibut.
Alaska's on my bucket list, but I didn't get a chance to go before the kids got into athletics, and there's only so many times that I have.
Is it Montana you go fishing?
I do. So that's one thing that I have done. Is in this summer we're going to Oregon to fish for the first time, which is interesting because if it's true, a friend of mine said they're putting a bill forth in the state of Oregon to make it illegal to fish, hunt, all this stuff. So
And that brings in tons of money for them.
it does, but I mean that's kind of the political environment that's out there.
Yeah.
So
we know about that environment.
So I think I've only missed 1 year in the past 17 years. So that's kind of my thing, and the reason that I haven't been to Alaska is just logistics of time.
Yeah, if you go halibut fishing, you will be so hooked. Number one, you will bring home the greatest thing that ever went on your plate.
Oh, I love halibut.
As Dwight Sanford calls it, holy halibut.
Yeah, holy halibut. Halibut is phenomenally good. It's harder and harder to find today than what it has been in the past.
Let me talk about that. Does Holly come home from the grocery store saying, "No, I didn't buy that. No, I didn't buy that. No, I sure didn't buy that"?
Yeah, so we've had quite the debate here lately. Now, one thing I will say about Holly's phenomenal. Like, she knows what's cheaper at Food Line. She knows what's cheaper at Walmart. She knows what's cheaper at Ingles. So she'll actually go 2 or 3 places when she goes town
Guilty.
shopping. I mean,
Yeah.
she was traveling last week, and I wanted a ribeye. So I was in town, and Will was coming in town. So I was like, "Hey, you wanna cook steaks at the house?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I went to one of the locals that she says are the most expensive. I pick up 2. I just look through and I go, "Oh, that's a great ribeye." So I pick it and I get home, and I bought 2, 4.
Yeah.
Will and I cooked them, and I was going to cook some for her when she got home, and she looked at it, absolutely chewed me out for spending.
Because of what it costs.
She's like, "You didn't even look at the price, did you?" And I said, "No, I wanted a ribeye."
Yeah.
But the thing is like I'm tracking cattle prices and commodity prices, so to
Yeah.
me it's like prices are up.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do about
Yeah,
it. But she's
yeah.
like, "If you buy them on this day, they're cheaper." And I
Yeah,
mean, she was
yeah.
upset at me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I love
"Look,
it.
I'm a grown man. I go to work at 6
I
o'clock in the
love
morning."
me some Holly.
I said, I go to work at 6 a.m.
Gonna
If I
have a
want a ribeye,
steak.
I'm going to buy a ribeye.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat it every day. But,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I'm blessed from that standpoint.
Yeah.
She pays very close attention.
Well, I had this plan, and it fell completely through. I'm an Ingles girl. Everybody knows I'm American made and born. I love Ingles Grocery Store. It's a local grocery store, North Carolina born, buys the fruits and vegetables from your growers. I love Ingles. So, and I will admit right here, right now, I have not even turned into this new big development in Jasper where they have all the new stores. I've not even been there. Hadn't made any plans to go there. But anyway, I got tickled because I try to buy a pack of ground beef. Well, the last pack of ground beef I bought, ground chuck, was $19.48. And it was, it was buy 3 pounds or more and you get it for X amount of dollars. So I walk in there, the grocery store, and I'm looking, and I'm picking up and I went, "What?" And I said, "I don't think so," and I put that sucker back down. There was even a breaking point for me that I'm not going to buy ground beef as long as it's that high.
Yeah.
And I put it back. So I go over here to the meat counter, and I'm looking, and I trust Ingles. I love Ingles. They have great butchers. Love them. So I go over there, and I pick up this pack of meat. Well, it looked like homemade sausage. Sherry, you should have read the label. I bought me 2 packs of them. It was reduced for quick sale, which means it's still fine to buy, and you can freeze it or use it. I buy it, I get home, and I look, and I said, oh, it's really not sausage, it's just ground pork. Well, I'm thinking to myself, heck, there ain't nothing any better than a tenderloin biscuit.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I will just fry these up, and then I'll have them ready. I'll put them in little individual things, and then when I make biscuits, I have a pork biscuit. That'll be perfect. Well, it didn't have much flavor. So I just kept adding salt and pepper to it, and I made some gravy with that, and
Ooh,
Lord have mercy, was it good? It was $2.98 a pound. Ground beef was $10.98 a pound. Did I enjoy that pork? You better believe I did.
Yeah.
And I put the rest of it in the freezer, and the rest of it I am going to make sausage. I'm going to add hot pepper, I'm going to add sage, I'm going to add a little garlic salt, a little onion salt, salt and pepper, and I'm going to make sausage out of that one. Mm-hmm. But look at the sale items in your meat counter, because if they're legally selling them, they're legally good enough to eat. Either go home and freeze them that day, go home and pre-cook them that day, put them in Ziploc bags, put them in the freezer, and then you'll have pre-made meals for you to use. But don't fall victim. Hey, I love hamburgers. I love spaghetti. I love meatloaf. I would have made all of that. Mm-hmm. But I am not paying $10.98 a pound for ground beef.
No.
It is not happening. Not happening.
Well,
So,
I mean, the sad part is.
would you buy a whole cow?
Oh yeah, yeah. That actually, I have learned a lot about what's going into feeding our cattle before they go to slaughter. I don't agree with it. It's max corporate profitability, so we are shifting to actively looking for buying a cow right now. So, so yeah, because it's grass fed, it's local. You're supporting local farmers.
Right.
And the prices now are about the same as what the grocery store are.
And do they locally process it for you?
Yes.
Because we used to have the, what do they call that place in Jasper? The freezer locker.
Right.
Yeah, where they
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the hard part now, is there's just not that many processing facilities.
what I was
so
wondering.
that's the logistics that you have to organize it out. And unfortunately, it's just how we swung this way, we're going to have to swing back this way.
yeah. Self-sufficient, you know, going out there in the pasture and saying, Bubba, you're going to be dinner tomorrow. So, yeah.
And you know,
sounds like
and,
it worked.
And look, I mean, you know, if it's grass fed and raised, and there's a lot of farms around here, it's got a little bit different taste, but I like it better.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting high quality. That animal has great ingredients that are coming into it. The meat has more minerals, more nutrients. It's better for you, really.
Yeah. Well, lesson learned. Sherry bought the bargain, but I had to adjust it, and I had to doctor it, and I had to. But yeah, I'd do it again. So yeah, check out things that are on sale.
And here's the thing that I will say: I just don't see mathematically how food prices aren't higher in the fall, because one of the things that you have taken into consideration right now is a lot of fertilizers come out of the Middle East through the Strait of Hormuz. So Chris was showing, I was looking at some data yesterday, Chris was showing just how much less fertilizer has come out of the Middle East, which is less fertilizer put onto our crops. And hopefully we don't have a drought, but the reality is because of the mass manufactured farming, our soils aren't as good as what your local backyard garden may be. So they rely upon these fertilizers a lot more. So without those fertilizers, there's a high probability that we're going to have less yield, which means higher prices. So food prices are probably going to be higher for quite some time. So one of the things Holly and I are really kind of focusing on is when we get these sales, you know, go buy some, figure out how much we can get for the next 3, 4, 5 months of kind of what we eat, and just slowly kind of build that up a little bit, because that becomes a built-in savings for people when prices go up. So I don't see a lot of positive things for food prices over the next 6 to 12 months.
Well, it's made math geniuses out of shopping women, because I can tell you what I buy, what store, how much I save on it, how much I save on this, how much I save on that. And I checked out at Ingles the other day, and I did a test for myself. And every item but 2 in my buggy was on sale. Every item but 2. So I have adjusted my buying to, I wanted to get that, but I'm not going to pay that price for it.
Right.
So I wait until it's on sale, or I just do without it. And so, you know, it makes sense to me.
And I have, I mean, just the inflation that's come across different areas, there are things that I used to, I'm like, hey, I'd like to, I can use that, or that'll make, you know, a tool that'll make things a little bit more efficient. And the prices are to the point now, it's like, no, I'll make it work without it. I mean, and that's what
Do y'all
inflation
have a
does to people.
garden?
We do.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I spent last night tilling the garden, and my grandfather would be somewhat proud of me at this point, because I grew up working my grandfather's garden, and we'd drive through town. He'd be like, "You see that person over there? Their garden has a bunch of weeds in it. They have bad character." So when we get busy, and the corn gets up, and the years pass, you know, with kids in every place and work, I'd take the lawnmower and go right down through the middle. And I remember thinking my grandfather would be rolling over in his grave right now. But yeah, so I actually do. I don't know how big this area is here. Maybe a half acre. We try to do about a half acre garden: corns, beans, okra. And I bought a freeze dryer a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now a freeze dryer, so you can can to store food. Holly's done a lot of canning. I do a lot of beans, and she makes the best vegetable soup with the okra, the corn, the tomatoes. We do tomatoes. We actually grow asparagus, garlic.
Asparagus
squash.
takes 2 years to get started.
Yeah, so we've got a raised bed garden of asparagus. It's phenomenal. We like it. You know, it takes 2 years to get going.
Yeah.
But I mean, we eat consistently. Holly's done lettuce this year, so we do lettuce. Holly does lettuce. I can't say weed. All I do is weed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll put it up. But one of the coolest things, so you like fried okra? So if you freeze dry, so what a freeze dryer does is it drops the temperature down to below 20 or 30 below, and then pulls all the oxygen out, and then it raises the temperature to about 120 degrees. So that moisture that's in there moves from ice to vapor, and it pulls it out.
Wow.
Now, it'll store for 25 to 50 years.
I started saying Mother used to dry fruit.
So there's dry, dehydrated.
Yeah, that's what she would do.
Like beef jerky is dehydrated. You can do that with bananas and apples and stuff like that. And then there's canning, then there's freeze drying. So if you take okra, I mean, I cut okra and put a little salt on it and then freeze dry it. It tastes exactly like fried okra.
Wow.
Without being fried. It's phenomenal.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to this year. Last year our schedule didn't allow us to do a lot of
Okra is like my okra, cream corn, black-eyed peas, and sliced tomatoes.
Yep.
To me, that is like the meal of kings and royalty.
Oh yeah. Yes,
there is nothing that combination and a slice of onion to go with your black-eyed peas. Oh yes, yeah.
So, but I like gardening. I mean, when I was a kid, I got in trouble. I'd have to go work in my grandfather's garden, which I was the kid that swung from the rafters. So I was in the garden a lot.
Yeah.
And I just like it. There's something about knowing you grew what you grew.
And nothing tastes like
soil.
it. Yeah.
And it's so good, and I get to choose the type corn that I put in. So
do y'all do white half runner beans?
Yes.
Y'all, I'm telling you, that is like, to me, the first setting of a white half runner bean meal. That's like, oh my gosh, and I love, stringing the beans and
If I remember correctly, Holly found
it's therapy to me. It's just it just feels good.
Holly, I think they're called asparagus beans or they're yard beans. I can't remember. Those things are about 12 to 15 inches.
Wow.
They're phenomenal.
Wow.
And like they're real tender. You snap them. They don't can very well, but they're great for fresh eating. We didn't do any this year, and we couldn't find them. But yeah. So the only thing about beans and the white half runners, I have to put T-posts in, and you got to run a string and then tie it. So they're a lot of work to get in there.
Yeah. But ain't nothing like them. Yeah. We've got to take a commercial break because we've flown through here. And it is crazy, y'all. This weekend at Georgia Mountain Fair, the time is just flying by. Braden Rumfeld is doing a concert. It's called A Night of Worship, and I gave away some tickets for it. And I hope everybody will come and enjoy the concert. The tickets, general admission is $25. They are still available if you want to call the Georgia Mountain Fair and get some. If you don't remember, Braden Rumfeld was like in the top 5 of American Idol. Great voice, great family. His sister sings well, his twin brother sings well, his family sings well, and he and some of his cohorts from American Idol are going to be doing a night of worship this Saturday night at the Georgia Mountain Fair, and I hope you will come and be with us. It's going to be a fun night, and it's exciting because it's the local boy coming home. He learned to sing in church. He sings continually in church, and you're going to get to hear him as we go to worship. We're going to go right now to a commercial.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
If you or your business are looking for local advertising opportunities, we have sponsorships available for new programming coming soon on ETC3. Contact us at 706-697-5591.
See us anytime you can.
ETC is connected to our community. We provide communication services that connect friends and family. We're connecting with our neighbors through support of local causes and events, connecting our students and schools to a world of learning resources, and connecting you to the latest technology with local customer service. Learn more about our community connections and fast, reliable internet. Visit etcnow.com today.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
We're back. And I want to remind y'all, there are so many cool things going on at the Georgia Mountain Fair. Last night, I was giving away tickets to Shenandoah. Well, I had so many winners, I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. Y'all responded so quickly, so I'm going to call and I'm going to see if Miss Hilda will give me enough tickets to really level them out. We'll see. So I'm going to call her when I get off the air. But I love that. I mean, like 4,000 people jumped in and they want tickets, and so I was giving away tickets. It's really cool that you understand my theory. If you can get in your car and you can drive to Hiawassee, Georgia, and you can view Lake Chattooga, and you can walk Hamilton Gardens, and you can do this on a budget.
Yep.
Do it. Get out and do it. Enjoy these beautiful mountains that we call home.
We live in such a beautiful place.
And on the 4th of July, for free, you can come to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. Your kids can play in the bouncy houses. You can listen to music. You'll have to buy your meals from a food truck, or you can bring a picnic. It doesn't matter. The Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds are some of the most beautiful properties in North Georgia, and they are open to you year-round. There's so many things going on, from concerts to all kinds of, from cooking to wine fest to car shows. There's so much going on there. But last night when I was giving away those Shenandoah tickets, y'all did really good winning. So I've got to figure out how. I'm probably going to give the first like 8 people tickets, because so many of y'all won so fast, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? So I may have to find another theory, may find another way to do this. But anyway, last night y'all hit it out of the park, because you did really well, and everybody knew the answers, and everybody knew this. And I posted a picture, and you will remember this. The Exxon gas station, and then there was a sign on a little piece of land that we owned. We owned 1.81 acres next door to the Exxon, at the intersection of 53 and 515, and it said Appalachian Memories because we owned Appalachian Memories and we had a gift shop. And it was crazy how I thought there's so many new people in the area and nobody will recognize this. And it'll take me a long time to get a winner. Are you kidding me? It was like wham. And I was like, what? So good job, y'all. Y'all are going way back because we moved in that house in 1980. So that's a long time. And they remembered Bojangles. They remembered where my office used to be is now Wendy's. And on the way up here this morning, I got tickled because I was looking around at everything I've sold up 515.
Oh, yeah.
And I sold like 11 acres over here to Jackie Jones, and I sold 15 acres over here and 7 acres over here. And it's all, you're shopping at Walmart now. You are dining at all these places. You are pulling into gas stations where I sold the property. And I said it was so weird because my first few years, I did a lot of commercial stuff because we were just beginning to grow. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, but we have grown a bunch. And with that growth comes good things and bad things. The good things are there are jobs now for your kids. There are jobs. Do you know what it costs or what it pays to be a manager of a Chick-fil-A? It pays very well. It pays very good, yeah. It pays very well. So there are Chick-fil-A's all in our district. If you have great work ethics, you can have a great career as a manager at Chick-fil-A. If you want a great career, you can have a manager at a Longhorns. If you want a great career, there are great careers in the food industry now.
Oh, yeah.
Because people are going to eat out. They're going to eat out. And Chick-fil-A being one of my #1 choices for just a great business, get out there and look at the job market in a place like that.
Right.
And you have to like people. You have to like the smell of chicken. And you have to be very structured because Chick-fil-A, you gotta mind your P's and Q's.
Well, they're disciplined.
And do a good job.
They put a lot of effort into
and
their customer
they should.
service.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that if I have a choice of anything, I'm pulling into the Chick-fil-A because the customer service is phenomenal. If they make a mistake, they fix it.
Yep.
Doesn't happen that often, but it does. And they're kind. Like they, you know, they give you a good first impression.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I walk in here several mornings and smell Bojangles coming out of the air because Bojangles does do a good biscuit. And
they do.
Trace likes their biscuits, but Trace would much rather have a KFC here. So if anybody has money and wants to invest in a KFC, right now, you know, the KFC here failed, and I'm not sure what happened, but I can tell you there's enough of us here at the ETC studio who love KFC. They'd have no problem staying in business now because they do great biscuits, they do great slaw, they do items that are go back to your childhood and you remember.
Oh yeah.
You remember a bucket of chicken. And we're going back to those days. We like the olden days, we like the olden ways, we like being respectful. We like, you know, watching your P's and Q's and doing what you tell people you're gonna do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're young and you have work ethic, you do what you say you're going to do, and you show up and communicate, you have a superpower compared to your peers right now. Because I guess it's just the generation coming up under 27 phones and text and communication. They don't have the communication skills that the older generations have.
No.
If you have that, and I mean, look, if you're in business today, and you do what you say you're going to do, and if something outside your control impacts it and you communicate, hey, I'm sorry, here's what's going on, let that expectation, return those phone calls, you have a superpower.
Yeah.
I mean, you really do.
The people are here and they're willing to do business with you. Yeah. And I love that. Now, with your son building, is he ticky and he's going to get it all right and he's going to
Oh yeah, I've been
focus. He's got your focus.
He does.
Yeah.
And I've been so proud of him. You know, his organization, his willingness to go learn, you know, scheduling. So I've been, you know, when your kids first get started in something, I'm the type that I'm probably harder on my kids than I am somebody else. I'm harder on myself than I am somebody else. I can't help it. You strive for perfection, even though it will never be achieved. But if you don't try to strive for perfection, you're never even going to get close.
Yeah.
So I've just been, it's been a joy to watch him, you know, learn, come back into the community. And some of the projects he's done, I've walked in, I'm like, dang. Like,
Can't believe he did this.
Yeah, you're not.
You were that kid I couldn't get to pick up his blue jeans out of the floor.
Yeah, I know. And one of the local businesses, he built this. I've been wanting to build an epoxy table for a while. I just don't have time to do it.
Yeah.
I don't make the time to do it.
Yeah.
And he built this, you know, I'm like, dang, that's incredible. Like, how'd you learn that? He's like, well, I just did a lot of research and just got in there and did it. So I've been really proud of him. I have. He's done a good job. And I hear a lot of good feedback about how good he communicates and fixes things, keeps his word to his own hurt, you know. And that's one of the things.
And I love that he's building his family's home now. That's going to be important to y'all.
Yeah.
Because one day you will sit there as you're rocking his babies if he ever settles down and, you know, does that. And let's talk about that precious baby you got at your house. This kid could be on any commercial in the world.
Oh my!
She could be on the cover of any magazine in the world. This is the cutest baby. Who does she look like? She is adorable.
I'm a little biased. I see Tyler in her. I see a lot of Katie. I see a lot of my mother's genes. I'm biased, but I think she looks like the Gerber baby.
She's a doll.
You know, it's our first grandchild.
Yeah.
And I changed a diaper for the first time in 22 years the other day.
I'd like to have a video of that.
Yeah, it was quite humbling because, you know, I think I shared the story at one point that she was about 2 months old. The kids were at the house, and I'm holding her, gave her a bottle. She burped, did a stinky, and I'm like, I'm granddad. I don't change diapers. So my son-in-law took her.
Yeah.
But she's in a period where she's had a hard time sleeping. So Katie and Tyler came, spent the weekend with us. And like from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning, she was screaming bloody murder.
Oh, no.
And I was in the bedroom, and I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, please let them get some sleep, because I remember those days.
Yeah.
She goes to sleep for a bit. About 5:45, 5:30, she does it again. It's about the time I normally get up.
Yeah.
So I went into the living room, and Katie was, you know, there, and I said, hey, you go to bed, because I'm the early riser. I said, I'll keep her. Well, inevitably, about, I guess it was probably 7 o'clock, 7:30, she had a wet diaper. I'm like, do I go wake Holly up? No, I'm not going to do that.
I'm going to change his diaper.
So I pulled the diaper out, and I'm like, what's the front and the back? Like, I don't even know what the front and the back is, but at least she'll have a front.
Yeah.
So, you know, I take the diaper off, put it back on. I can't find the straps. Like when we had kids, they were on the outside. You just fold them over.
Yeah.
I'm looking all over the place and put it on there, and then I guess these things fit so tight, I'm like, I felt like I was dealing with a
and she's
MIT
looking
puzzle.
up going, yeah.
And she's just, giggling. And so finally I got the diaper changed. So the first thing when everybody gets up, I'm like, I did it. I changed the diaper for the first time in 20 years.
Well, we've got a couple of pictures that I want to show before we go off the air today. I want to remind you, this is our time to honor our nation, to say happy, happy birthday, happy 250th birthday. Anything you're doing, put a sign in your yard, hang a flag in your yard, put a bumper sticker on your car, do whatever you want to do to honor America. We should be so thankful, so proud, so amazingly happy that we live in an amazing country. We are free because of the brave.
Yes.
And that is my favorite photo of my daughter, because she loved doing those red, white, and blue bows. She made thousands of them in her lifetime. And thank you to Dub Lawson, who loaned us that car for every parade we ever asked. He would loan us that car. So salute America, honor America, be thankful for America. And if you don't like America, let me tell you what you can do.
Go back.
Delta flies both ways. And you can take yourself out of here, because we are a giving, a loving, and amazing nation. But we are a great nation because of great people.
Yes.
Great people who went before us.
Yes.
So, yeah, thank you for being here today.
You're welcome. And
Did you see how fast the time went?
I will say it is our responsibility to pass to the next generation the gifts and freedom that we have been passed.
That's right.
To maintain it.
That's right. That's right. And honor those who went before us. And every time you walk in the post office here in Gilmer County, say thank you to Noah Harris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.